There he is.
Let's go today.
You're late.
There's your paper.
Hey,
All right.
this is today's issue?
Yeah. Well, why would I get you
Arizona
yesterday's
Tribune,
issue?
baby. Let's see. Dead boy found. I wonder what he found. That shit's funny, dude. That cracks me up.
All right. Well, did you pull a case file?
No.
God.
I thought you were.
All right. Hold on. Let me see what's underneath this table.
Oh, no. Another bad one?
Yeah. Case file. Glass onion.
Ugh.
Sounds kind of interesting. Do you
Sounds
want to?
okay.
Do you want to talk about it?
I guess so.
Rated PG-13.
Boo.
Release date, November 23rd. In select theaters. And then on December 23rd of 2022, it's going to be streaming on Netflix. This had a budget of $40 million.
There's a lot of big names in this movie. I wonder what they got paid.
Incident report.
Miles Braun, who is played by Edward Norton, is a tech billionaire. He's invited all of his douchey friends to a private island in Greece for a murder mystery party.
In reality, they all have reasons to kill him. Also invited is Detective Blanc, the world's greatest detective.
I disagree. Look at it this way,
Yeah.
Jared. You're going to pick the greatest detective in the world. You are murdered. Who do you want to solve that mystery? Who you picking?
Let's see. Just one more thing, detective.
Columbo?
That's him. Columbo.
Who else
He's the
you
best. Murder, She Wrote.
Just a show.
Yeah.
You just think a show should be solving your
The
crime.
lady from...
Why not Golden Girls then if you like old ladies?
They
That's
won't.
great. My top four are obviously Columbo, Batman, Ghost Me, and Scooby-Doo. Obviously, if somebody kills you, Jared Ballistic Jackson, they'll probably sexually assault the body, mutilate you, dispose of you in a proper place. That's what happened to you.
Oh.
Somebody kills me, I'm gonna die I'll die from like 100 bullets, like Sonny from The Godfather. Something tough.
Oh, that's a
You'll
good
die
one.
like somebody will shove like dirty socks down your throat and hang you and tie your hands behind your back. But I'll die something cool.
Usual suspects. Here's the production team. T Street is an American film and television production company that was founded in September of 2019 by Rian Johnson and Ram Bergman. Okay, let's get this out of the way right away.
Okay.
How do you pronounce the director's name?
Rian Johnson?
So it's not Rian Johnson.
Why would you say that?
Or Rian Johnson.
Ryan Johnson?
It's spelled R-I-A-N.
Ugh.
So how do you really pronounce
I don't
that?
know. You pronounce my name Cynthia, but it's spelled Jonathan.
Well, you look like it's Cynthia. That's why I call you that. From behind.
I've been told that.
Okay.
The undercover days of young sourdough man.
Oh, I found an interesting fact about the
Great.
production team.
Okay.
So this was T Street, as I said before. Now, the interesting fact is on November 14th of 2019, it was announced that Curry Hart and Stephen Feder had become producers at T Street. Now, those names probably mean nothing to you, but their titles do. Hart and Feder was most recently senior vice presidents at Lucasfilm Development.
For the bad years of Lucasfilm?
It looked like after The Last Jedi, those two left the studio to join Johnson's creative endeavors.
This is why they left Lucasfilms and all joined up with Flop Johnson, as we call him in the clink. Okay, C-Block, they call him that. I walk that beat. I look
Yeah.
at the people I arrested.
C Block has a real problem with T Street. Is
They
what you're
do.
saying. Yeah.
And the thing is, they probably left because they were like, the fans don't get the film, and if we're not going to be appreciated for how good we are, it's like, oh, well, it's not my fault that the people of the time didn't connect with my movie. Yeah, it is. Don't be upset when they go, well, we didn't like it. The masses didn't like it.
Yeah.
I mean, look at all the complaints I have, civil complaints from all the people I arrested. Groping, planting drugs, groping, arson. I mean, I'm supposed to adjust my style of
All right,
arresting?
John, I got to stop you right now. As your partner, a lot of those cases are still pending, and you shouldn't talk about them.
Can I ask you a question real quick? Because you keep saying partner,
Yeah.
and my mom keeps asking me questions, and I'm really confused. Partner as in partners, or are we life partners?
Can't we be both?
Absolutely.
Okay, there you go. Now you're not confused anymore, are you?
Nope.
I do want to talk to you about the distributor, though.
Oh.
This is a very interesting company. It's called Netflix. Are you familiar? Netflix purchased the rights to this movie.
Okay.
And then Netflix struck the deal with their
Oh,
theatrical releases.
interesting.
However, this would be a very limited release on 600 screens, marking the first time a Netflix distributed film would be shown in all three major theater chains in the United States.
Harkins, AMC.
you're already wrong.
Oh, wait. Harkins is not one?
No.
Okay, so it's AMC, Cineplex,
Close, Cinemark.
and Dinoplex. Our idea. Wait, Cinemark is bigger than Harkins?
Well, it just says the three largest chains in the United States. right now, AMC Theaters, Regal Cinemas, and Cinemark.
Regal Cinemas? I've never even heard of that.
Well, they call it a sneak peek week. So I think this is something that Netflix will start to do.
You think?
And I think they're doing this so they can get in the runnings for Oscars.
Oh my God, you're so smart. You see, you're such a better detective. That's way better than me, because I thought the producers of the film have it in the deal where, yes, Netflix, you can buy this from us, but we need 1, 2, 3 weeks in the theaters.
Right.
And then you can have it. That's what I was thinking. But your thing's way better.
Well,
you're good, buddy.
Okay, so last thing I'll mention about Netflix is they would pull the film from distribution, at which point theaters could have the option to show the film again. Netflix would take a lower percentage from the theater chains. Typically, a movie studio would take about 60 to 70%, and in this case, it's only taking 40% of those profits.
You're right. Yeah, they want that Oscar.
Yeah.
Interesting.
So that's the distributor of Netflix. Will we see more sneak peek from Netflix original films? I mean, because you got...
I can't think of anything off the top of my head just because there's so...
They did that for Gray Man, didn't they?
Yeah, oh yeah, Gray Man was in the theaters.
Yeah.
I would not say it's Oscar worthy, but I'd be surprised if it didn't make a profit.
So that's it with the usual suspects. Now we're going to move on to the prime suspects.
Prime rib.
And just like our last case file,
Dun, dun, dun.
the writer and director are the same guy.
That's
Rian
the red
Johnson.
herring.
So Rian Johnson is the writer and director of this movie, Glass Onion. So a little profile on him. After graduating from high school, he went on to attend the University of Southern California School of the Cinematic Arts. Now that's a tough school to get into. That's the USC. His first feature film, Brick, was released in 2005 and was the metaphorical building block that launched his career.
You love that movie.
I do. I did. That movie changed my life for a good year.
Would you say that's what made you become a detective?
Yeah. I think I already know the answer to this, and you might have already said it. But what's your opinion of Rian Johnson?
I think he just needs to stay away from the studio stuff and just write and direct his own things. And I think he should just get better at making detective movies.
That's interesting, because I was going to say, I think he's a step above of the murder mystery dinner party that you can host yourself.
And so that's
you can hand to all your friends their motivation and who they need to talk to in an envelope that will open in a 3-act series.
Yeah. That was such a burn.
Murder mystery dinner party whodunits.
Job is harsh. I'd say he could definitely start to intern with one of them. Because when I'm watching Rian Johnson's, I know I'm watching a mystery movie. I can see him typing, and he's just click, 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 and I could just see him click, click, and he doesn't ask anybody opinions, and he goes, oh, that's good. I just don't like that attitude. I've seen better murder mysteries. I just don't think these last two movies were as good as people think. Knives Out and Glass Onion. I'm sorry, I just don't think. Brick! How you get worse as you get older?
You stop getting hungry, I think that could be it. And then plus, he signed a deal with Netflix.
So now 2 more.
Yeah.
2 more Knives Out movies?
I did look up the cinematographer on this movie.
What'd you think?
In a murder mystery movie, you really want to have a spatial awareness.
Yeah, I would say any movie. Spatial awareness is good.
So we have the cinematographer. His name is Steve Yedlin. Now, Steve has worked with Rian Johnson several times before.
Did he do Brick?
Damn it, he did do Brick.
He did?
Yep.
That's great. Good
He
for
did
him.
Brick in 2005. And then he also went on to do The Brothers Bloom, Looper.
Oh, Looper. Oh, look at that. Looper, starring the big panache, JGL. And JGL is also in Brick. Look at that. Star-crossed lovers meeting again.
Steve Yedlin also worked on The Last Jedi and Knives Out. So he's probably just Rian Johnson's eye behind the camera.
Yeah.
I think Steve Yedlin's great cinematographer.
All right.
And more importantly, he did an American classic, San Andreas, starring The Rock Johnson.
Oh, my good. How many Oscars did that win again?
By the way, have you seen any of Dwayne The Rock Johnson's social media now?
Why?
The failure of Black Adam apparently really has affected him. He wanted to take over.
Jesus
That's the
Christ,
DC
dude.
expanded universe.
Oh, thank
So
you.
you're okay.
You son of a bitch. Okay, so that's a hypocrisy right there from Dwayne The Rock Johnson.
Sure.
He didn't get where he is if he didn't fail so much. It don't make sense. You're a huge guy. You have what you have, people would kill for. Jared has personally tried to kill me 3 times because the gypsy woman told him he will be Dwayne The Rock Johnson.
So that's Steve Yedlin.
Good for
the
him.
cinematographer.
God bless.
Now, like Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson,
Right.
Ryan only likes to work with certain creatives over and over and over again on his projects. Same thing with the editor, Bob Ducey.
Bob Ducey.
Bob Ducey.
My editor, Bob Ducey.
Now, this guy has been an editor for him since...
Brick.
Let's see. Brick came out in 2005, and in 2005, he did The Revenge of the Mummy Ride. Nope, he did Van Helsing around in 2004.
I like Van Helsing.
So he hadn't picked up on that. But he was the editor for Season of the Witch.
I like Season of the Witch, dude. That's a Nick Cage classic in my book.
So we have talked about Bob Ducey.
My editor, Bob Ducey.
Looks like he came in contact with Rian Johnson for Looper in 2012.
Okay.
Then he went on to do, also San Andreas. Bob Ducey
My editor, Bob Ducey.
also went on to work on The Last Jedi. He went back with Rock Johnson on Rampage.
He's bouncing between the Johnsons. I used to in my undercover days.
All right, so Rian Johnson works with a really talented crew.
Does he?
More interesting, the music and score. Nathan Johnson, and that's a relation.
To Dwayne?
No, to Ryan.
Ah.
The profile on Nathan Johnson, he's actually Ryan's cousin and frequent collaborator.
Aw. That's nice when you work with family.
Return to score Glass Onion, marking their 5th collaboration after Brick, The Brothers Bloom, Looper, and Knives Out.
Can I ask you something?
Yeah, go ahead.
Do you have an example in your head of besides musicals, a movie that's really carried by the music?
Star Wars, I feel.
You think Star Wars is carried by the music?
I think a lot of the emotional resonance of Star Wars
is music.
Well, you know
Right.
what? I'm just hitting John Williams.
Oh, you are, because I was literally about to hit you up with Jurassic Park.
You know what the problem
well,
is
the
I
guy's
hear?
good, man.
Here's what I think is the problem with movies that are coming out these days. So when they are being compiled in editing,
Yeah.
they're just the cinematic scores put in from other movies.
What?
So let's say,
As they're being made.
yeah. So for example,
Okay.
if you're editing the latest Marvel movie, you're gonna have the musical score from
Right.
like the previous Marvel movie,
Right.
And then you just got to change it just a bit
Big
to hit the
mistake.
peaks and valleys.
Can't do
However,
that.
when you're doing that, your brain doesn't really know the
Yeah.
difference. So that's what I got on The Usual Suspects. You want to move into the Patsies?
Yeah. Oh,
Let's
real
get into
quick.
that. Yeah.
HR was asking me,
Uh-oh.
and they were just wondering if it's possible for you to stop saying Patsies,
No.
because downstairs in the bomb squad, Pat's blind.
You-
His eyes were blown out of his skull. So every time you say Patsies, it's really insensitive. So if you don't mind, maybe not saying that.
Oh, is that his official complaint? I'm just gonna tear this up. All right. And you know what's even funnier than that?
Yeah.
I'm gonna leave the shreds of his complaint all over his desk, and I'm just gonna laugh at him because he won't even know what they are.
Are we bad people?
Maybe.
No, we're cops.
So here
we're
we
the
go.
good guys, baby.
All right, let me get this file here. Hold on a second. Dead guy, missing child, missing film director. We got oh, here it is, Daniel Craig.
Hey-o.
All right.
Well, you're going to go with the big gun right off the bat. I like it.
That's
You have
what
an
I do.
abrasive detective style with suspects, and that's why you've been in the court several a time. Let's do it.
Do you know anything about him?
Yes. Daniel Craig was in Layer Cake.
Pop quiz, hotshot.
Okay.
Okay, I'm gonna ask you a series of questions. This gun
Yeah.
doesn't like wrong answers.
Oh, snap.
All right. True or false? Kate Hudson's character owns an athletic leisure brand. In real life, Hudson also owns a high-end athletic leisure brand.
True. Yes.
That is correct.
I know, because I'm wearing her Spanx right now.
Which mobile phone cannot be used by a movie villain? Is it Apple's iPhone or Google's Android?
Apple's iPhone.
That is correct.
Oh, thank Jesus.
Wow, you're 2 for 2.
All right.
Okay, lucky number 3. This is not Edward Norton's first film, where he keeps stealing everyone else's ideas because he has none of his own. Was it Primal Fear in 1996? Was it Rounders in 1998? Or was it The Italian Job in 2003?
Oh, that's easy. The Italian Job.
That's correct.
All right.
That was
Okay.
No, you passed the quiz.
Hey, yo.
You passed the quiz, Jonathan. I'm going to put
All
this
right.
gun away.
Thank you. Oh. Every time you put your gun in your holster, you pull the trigger?
Oh, I didn't know that was loaded. Why would I point a loaded gun at my partner?
Uh-huh.
Oh, okay.
You want to go get the TV?
Yeah, can you get the TV first?
Give me 1 second.
While you're doing that, I'm just going to pull out
Here I'm coming. Let me just push it in here. Give me a second.
Hey.
Hey. I'm just getting a blue screen here, Jared.
Okay. No, you put it on channel 3.
Channel 3.
Yep.
Boom. There we go.
It's on. Hold on. Push stop on that.
Okay.
Do you want me to go over the informant notes, or do you want to talk about...
Do the informant notes,
Uh-huh.
and then we'll watch the movie.
Are you sure?
And then we'll figure out your Netflix password because we're locked out. Go for it.
All right.
Give me those informant notes. Who's our informant? Slim Jim Kevin.
They left it. Oh.
Slappy Tits.
Thought they left it.
Magoo.
There we go. Knives Out, a 2019 film produced by MRC and Lionsgate, was a commercial success. It grossed over $311 million on only a $40 million budget.
I thought that movie sucked.
Well,
Keep
it did
going.
really well.
I cannot believe it did so well. Somebody needs to write a good murder mystery movie to show everyone what a good murder mystery movie is, because children are going to grow up and then they're going to start writing murder mysteries. And then 10 years after that, other people are going to start writing murder mysteries. And in 300 years, horrible pandemic of horrible murder mystery movies that everyone thinks is good. And we're not going to realize that the quality we're missing out on murder mystery movies. I digress.
Well, I'll tell you who disagrees with you is Netflix, because they outbid Amazon and Apple to acquire the rights to both Knives Out and a sequel.
The bidding wars, let them begin.
Now check out how much money they paid for this.
Oh my God.
$469 million.
What the? No, is that why I'm paying almost $30 a month for Netflix?
Well, they got to make up the money somehow.
I'm canceling it.
Okay, now a losing bidder, now we don't know who they are, described this deal as inexplicable. All three, Johnson, Craig, and producer of T Street, Ram Bergman, reportedly earning them each $100 million.
He ruined Star Wars.
I understand
He was one of the 4 pillars to ruin Star Wars.
Whoa.
Pillar 2 is Kathleen Kennedy. Pillar 3 is George Lucas with the prequels, which he said himself. Jar Jar Binks is the 4th pillar.
Are you sure it wasn't Jar Jar Abrams?
Ooh. Burn.
Okay, Johnson's writing began for this movie with the idea of creating a whodunit for a vacation mystery. He discovered Amazo Hotel in Greece and decided to use it as the filming location, which Johnson later described as a summer vacation where he just happened to make a movie.
That's all these people do. The king of that is obviously Adam Sandler.
I agree.
Am I saying this out of jealousy?
Just so you know, to stay at one of those rooms at the Amazo Hotel in Greece is about $2,000 a night.
So it's rich people money.
Johnson wanted to title the film to allude to something hidden in plain sight. He chose glass because it was transparent, obviously, and then searched his phone, and that's when he came across the Beatles song, Glass Onion.
You have no idea how mad you just made me. Are you kidding me right now?
He just searched his iTunes.
Get out. Oh my God.
He's
That
like-
is so dumb.
And then to license a Beatles song. That's how much money this dude has.
He just got $100 million
I don't know.
for playing in the sand in Greece. Isn't that country still bankrupt?
I guess maybe now that the bridge troll for the Beatles songs licenses is dead, maybe they're affordable now.
Did you say bridge troll?
Yeah.
Are you... Wait, do bridge trolls
Also
exist
known as the
or
king
not?
of pop.
Because every night when I have to go home, I have to drive across the bridge, and there's a troll that comes out, and he gives me 3 riddles. And if I get them wrong, I have to give him a B.
Yeah, okay.
And I always get them wrong. So trolls aren't real?
They're very real. I'm sorry. Johnson was also pissed that a Knives Out mystery was added to the subtitle to Glass Onion, as he intended for the film to be a standalone story that just so happened to have the same detective as his previous film, Knives Out.
And I wanted to establish really clearly for the audience right off the bat, we're going to have them be totally new deals every single time. And for me, this goes back to the original source of inspiration for all of this, which is my love of Agatha Christie's work and her books. She was coming into each one with a totally different conceptual approach, and she was trying twists and turns and narrative gambits, and she was subverting the tropes of the genre from the very start.
You should have it say Knives Out. It's like saying Agatha Christie's Murder on the Nile. Agatha Christie's Murder on the Orient Express. Agatha Christie's in Jared's bedroom. But here's something that sounds horrible. Rian Johnson's Knives Out. Rian Johnson's Glass Onion.
So he's not like a John Carpenter.
Leave it as Knives Out.
He's not like a Steven Spielberg's. He's not like a Spike Lee's Joint.
Spike Lee's Joint, Jesus.
I'm sorry. I knew a lot of those would irritate you, and that's why I actually was the informant on that one.
Wait, you're Sugar Tits Magoo?
That's true. I'm going to go ahead and press play.
Ladies and gentlemen.
This is it.
You expected the mystery.
Get your hand off of that.
You expected a puzzle. But for one person on this island, this is not a game.
You know what Dwayne The Rock Johnson says? It's not about how hard you fall. It's about how much you cry. And I cried a lot during that movie because I wanted it to be over.
Now I'm going to go ahead and subvert your
Go ahead. Go for it.
Now I'm going to go ahead and subvert your expectations and tell you I'm a Rian Johnson fanboy.
Oh my God.
Hold on, let me turn around.
Yeah.
Now check out what's on my lower back.
Oh my God. It's a tattoo of you, and it says, "Who has two thumbs and loves Rian Johnson?" This guy. And then you're pointing at your Oh my God. What other movies besides Brick do you like from Rian Johnson?
The Knives Out movie. I thought that was pretty good.
So, 2.
And Brothers Bloom.
I never saw that. I wanted to because I love... Is Adrian Brody in that?
Yes, he is.
I love Adrian Brody.
Why is that?
I just think he's a great actor, and I love his nose.
Let's get into it.
Okay.
All right, so we're opening up during the COVID-19 pandemic, which I thought was a little bit on the nose. I didn't like that.
He only did that to have the one joke so she could have that see-through thing.
One of the things I'm always very gratified if it gets a laugh is Kate's mask.
I did do some more research because here's the thing about Rian Johnson. The reason why I know I'm just a fanboy is, one, I'm not smart enough to understand his movies. Like, I can watch it. Like the simplistic mouth breather I am.
He got to you.
I know that I have to then research his movies, figure out the nuance, the underlining story that I was just too dense to understand.
So I think Rian Johnson in himself is Miles Braun with all of us. He thinks he's this smart little, ooh, look at me, I type on typewriters and get paid 100 million schmollers because I made Brick in 2005. He thinks, ha 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 ha, look at me, I'm so smart, aren't I? I subverted your expectation. You didn't like my film? It's not bad, you're just dumb. That's him. And so, in a way, he is Edward Norton in this film. And the farther I am away, the more I realize he's a bull. By the way, how great is this? Let me put COVID in the movie, but then not have it do anything with anything for the rest of the movie.
But the notion of, just something I think all of us experience, the notion of defining people's personalities based on their choice of mask wear. You'll see Lionel, who's supposed to be a scientist, has a very proper N95 mask. Blanc has a very dapper mask that's coordinated to his outfit. And Kate, I think we all knew some version of this person. She's trying. She's wearing. She's like, I'm masked. What do you want? First of all, I should make clear very quickly, we're going to be on Miles's private island and get rid of the masks. This is not a mask movie.
Well, okay, Ryan, you created these characters, and now COVID's in their world. Dave Bautista, obviously, you can tell before COVID hit, before they get on the dock and it's COVID time, what kind of character he is. You can tell what kind of character Kate Hudson is. Didn't she bone one of the Jonas Brothers?
Probably.
And I boned one of the Jonas Brothers. So I basically slept with Kate Hudson.
They all load up onto the boat,
Yep.
get onto the island. They're greeted by Edward Norton's character,
Yes.
Miles Braun.
Yes, which is obviously Rian Johnson.
Miles sees Andy,
Yeah.
freaks out. Now,
Right.
should we spoil this right now?
Andy, no, he does
'Cause I
not.
do want to talk about
Miles does not freak out when he sees Andy.
this. Yeah, he does.
Nah, dude.
He like looks as if he's seen a ghost.
That's a freak out.
So I do want to talk about this. Spoiler ahead.
Go for it. The whole thing's spoilers, folks.
Okay, sure. Miles, he thought he had murdered Andy.
Right.
Andy just shows up
Yes.
to the island.
Right.
through
He's
the
gonna
first
jump
time.
right to the end there.
Yeah, through the
Okay.
first time I saw the movie.
Oh yeah, what part did you fall asleep at?
Well, I fell asleep during like the whole epilogue of the reveal that Andy's twin sister,
Yeah.
is actually pretending to be her sister as a lookalike, and she's the
Yes.
one who found Detective Blanc and brought him to the island.
That was a bit of a lull in already a lull of a movie.
And I fell asleep there. Maybe as soon as the point of her being revealed as the identical twin sister is where I said, okay, I'm checking out of this movie. I can take a nap.
When she was acting as the teacher from Alabama, I was just like, this is wretched.
Yeah.
And then she grew on me. But she didn't save the film.
Why did Miles not just freak out completely for killing somebody? Like, if I thought I killed you, John.
Right.
As I do many times.
Yes.
You show back up to work.
Uh-huh.
Now, whoa, you physically saw me, like, strangle you.
Right.
You physically saw me assault you.
Right.
You physically saw me stab you, shoot
Right.
you, all this stuff.
Right.
And when you show up to work, you immediately, I look into your eyes, and I know I'm forgiven, so that's
Right.
fine.
Obviously.
But now, the thing is, he poisoned her, like I've done to you several
Right.
times before, like that, and you just kind of pass out.
Yep.
Now, you do know that I was around when you did black out, and then you woke up inside of a car with the engine running
Yeah.
inside of a garage.
Can I
with
just
the
give you-
hose connected inside the window?
Yes. Can I give you one note?
Sure.
And I guess it's after all the years we've known each other and all the years that you've tried to poison me and I've just blacked out is a little bit disappointed every time I wake up. I still have all my clothes on, but keep going.
Sure. How do you think he reacted, Miles?
I don't think I'd freak out. I'd play it cool. I guess I didn't kill her. Let's see what her little game is. That's what I'd do.
Okay.
Okay.
So far, you're still on board.
I guess so.
With
I'm on
Johnson's-
board as much as the people on the Titanic after it sank.
Do you want to share with me why Andy?
Oh,
was
yeah,
actually
sure.
murdered?
So the whole thing is surrounded by clear. And clear is a fuel that can power anything and solve all of our problems with energy and oil and all this stuff. It's a clean,
Renewable energy
renewable
resource.
energy source. It's made out of salt water from the ocean. One problem with it is highly explosive, and it could be a little tiny bomb in your household if you're running clear. Andy came up with clear. Andy figured out the compounds and the da-da-da-da-da-da.
She came up with a chemical compound
Yes,
of clear.
right. And-
Essentially owning the rights to it.
Yes, and Edward Norton stole it, pretended he came up with it, and then had all of her very close friends lie under oath, so they're all going to go to jail, by the way, and get her kicked out of the company and make her seem like a fraud. So then Edward Norton...
In return, Edward Norton would fund all of the friends'
Yes.
like creative endeavors. or
Right, so then they'd
ventures.
all be in his pocket.
Yeah.
She finally finds proof that actually she did come up with the chemical compound to make clear.
By finding the original napkin.
Right, finding the original napkin, the cocktail napkin, and Edward Norton found this out because she emailed everybody and said, oh, I got the proof, so now what, bitches? Edward Norton goes to her house and kills her because he doesn't want the truth to come out. Andy, you're an idiot.
So I see what you're saying. In a realistic scenario here, Andy should have immediately gone public to
Yes.
protect herself
Right.
from people that she knows have ill will against her.
She should have immediately started gathering even
Like,
more
what was
evidence.
her angle there?
Her angle was to just be like, listen, give me the company back. And look what happened. You got yourself killed. Blanc is there. He knows he's supposed to be there. He knows what the plan is. So he tricks Edward Norton into being like, well, actually, I think somebody does want to kill you. And then that tricks Edward Norton. I don't want to die then. Come on and play in the murder mystery game.
Aha.
Now they're sitting at the table. Edward Norton's now explaining, here's the gist. We're going to do a murder mystery, blah, blah. This is the only part I liked in the movie. And Blanc solves it right away. That was hilarious. I wasn't really out of the movie at this point. I let go all of my disappointment from the original Knives Out, and I was into the movie now. And I went, then the arrow shoots him in the chest, and I was like, I wish Edward Norton died right there with the arrow in the chest. I thought that'd be funny. I thought that'd be so.
Like a real one?
Yes, it hits him in the chest and he dies.
Okay, that's good.
That'd have been cool.
Movie.
Right.
It's a better movie.
Who designed, did he mention who designed the giant invitation puzzle boxes?
Well,
His
yes, he
group,
did.
his team, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, he didn't do
Well,
it
because he doesn't do anything himself.
That's right.
ultimately. So
Right.
Miles Braun,
It's like me.
portrayed by Edward Norton,
Right.
doesn't do anything himself. So essentially, at this point, Andy's sister runs around every room trying to find the
Envelope.
napkin.
Yes.
With the original
Yes.
seal of the now,
Yes.
like the bar is non-existent
The
anymore.
glass onion.
She finds it, goes down and talks to Miles in front of everybody,
Yes.
and reveals herself as the sister.
Oh, this is the very end.
Yeah, we can kind of jump through this all now.
We have
'Cause
already.
She shows it to Miles Braun and says, aha, I have the napkin with the glass onion seal on it.
Uh-huh.
I can prove that
Right.
you are a fraud. This is so loose.
Right.
Because he can say, no, you stole that while you were on my property. I keep the original in a glass case and you
Right.
busted it
Well, he
to
burned
get it.
Well, that's why he burns it.
If he was so eager to burn it,
Why not do it before?
yeah. But
Is this movie? Is it Rian Johnson? Is it self-deprecating? Because obviously he's Edward Norton's character in this film.
I don't know. He's got a real bad habit right now for holding his audience in contempt. Basically, okay, so then he burns the only evidence that Andy's sister has.
Right, and everybody saw him burn it, but they're on the pocky of Edward Norton, so they're just like, no, I didn't see any napkin.
Obviously, because there's nothing in it, and nor will there ever be anything for it later on in the movie, as you can see. The ending's supposed to be a visual alliteration of what Edward Norton had said, Miles Braun had said earlier. The disruptor will go in and have the drive to break what people want to see broken and keep going and going and going until they get to something that people don't want to see broken and have the spirit to break it. So essentially that's what Elon Musk wanted to do. He wanted to destroy Twitter. But at the very end of the movie, Andy's sister goes around breaking glass, those little beautiful glass sculptures.
I hated that
Right?
scene.
And those were all things that people wanted to see broken. In fact, some of them, some of the other disruptors jumped in and started breaking them too. Right?
That was stupid.
Now, this is why Rian Johnson thinks he's a genius. She's going to have the drive to break something that nobody wants to see broken. And in this situation, after all the glass is broken, is Mona Lisa. Nobody wants to see that destroyed,
No.
but she had to.
No.
Because now the Mona Lisa is mentioned. They're going to be like, oh, was it that idiot Miles Braun?
But she did that because he thinks he's like clever. Where he's like set up, payoff. Those are the foundations of script writing.
You know what? First of all, I don't mean to interrupt you.
No, please.
but
I interrupt you every time.
I got that from Santiago's fridge.
Did you?
I haven't seen Santiago in months.
I don't know.
All right, sorry, go ahead.
I don't follow Santiago.
I just wanted to know if you were on a case. And I haven't seen the Cap either for a while.
What are you trying to say?
I'm just saying.
Are you trying to say that maybe like the Cap and Santiago are hanging out without me? Even though we used to be a triple. You know, we used to be the Three Musketeers.
It's pronounced a thruple.
Because I used to see it as we were the Three Musketeers and you were D'Artagnan, and over time I would get you to be folded into us and we'd all become the Four Musketeers. But now I'm starting to feel like, Jared, that it's just I'm ostracized. Because I'm hanging around with the precinct slob.
Wait a minute, hold on. They promoted me to slob?
Anyway, dude. Then they sets up the stupid thing. It was like, to be mentioned in the same breath as the Mona Lisa. That is something incredible. That is something memorable. And then at the end, Rian Johnson goes, unbeknownst to these low IQ peasants, he will be mentioned in the same name as the Mona Lisa, because I'll burn it, because I subverted your expectation. That's not impressive. Anyway.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Well, okay, so that's where we leave you. Now, no one died from that explosion, but it seemed to have blown up the entire mansion.
Right.
Miles Braun is devastated. The Mona Lisa's destroyed, and I'm to blame. So Andy walks out with the beach, heels in hand, and then Detective Blanc's there, and he's like, how did it go? And she's like, I think we won. And then the police arrive.
It almost seems like you have to think it's good because of XYZ. It has to be good. It's just like,
right.
It's stupid.
The layers and the nuances that are all entwined with this movie, they all amount to basically nothing. But it's unfair because Rian Johnson says, yeah, the movie's dumb. Constantly
dumb.
They're browbeating you over the head saying that, like, you're almost unintelligent if you're entertained by this.
I thought the movie should have been more of like a Murder on the Orient Express where everybody's the murderer. So Edward Norton kills Andy, but then everyone was trying to kill Edward Norton, it should have been, and then accidentally killed Batista. That's what I thought it should have been. And this is what I thought, and this is why it'd be a better ending. We think Batista dies from pineapple, but we actually find out Batista was poisoned. He did grab Edward Norton's drink by mistake and poisoned himself, involved with everybody else. That's what it should have been.
But they're like, hey, there's pineapple in
Right.
there.
Then you subvert our expectations, dude. And then Blanc goes, it's just like my favorite novel. All of you are the murderers. And Edward Norton killed Andy. And da-da-da-da. Glass Onion to me is lazy. And watching it is like, you can see he thinks he's so smart.
I think the biggest mystery with Rian Johnson is how to pronounce his name.
Hello, I'm Rian Johnson,